The Browns' quarterback drama just went nuclear, and coach Kevin Stefanski finally cracked after weeks of silence. The truth about Shedeur Sanders is out, and it's not what the critics wanted to hear. If you thought this was just another camp story, you're dead wrong.
Shedeur is a great kid, and whether it's a following that he's earned, I mean, that's something that he's done a great job of interacting with fans.
Developing situation as Cleveland Browns training camp is now open. Shedeur Sanders has officially become the favorite, and not just at the starting quarterback position. Up first, take a look at this. As ESPN Cleveland reports, Browns quarterbacks and rookies have reported to training camp today. Football is back, and so is Shedeur, who skipped the ESPYs to help families after a deadly apartment explosion in Cleveland.
Shedeur Sanders didn't just make headlines, he skipped them entirely. While the rest of the league's rookies were suited up for the ESPYs, smiling for cameras and chasing red carpet clout, Sanders was back in Cleveland, feeding families and handing out supplies after a deadly apartment explosion. No lights, no tucks, no sound bites, just work. Fans noticed, the city noticed, and whether the NFL admits it or not, the Browns noticed too. Overnight, Sanders went from fifth-round project to the most talked-about rookie in Cleveland. The buzz isn't just hype, it's building into something the team can't ignore. And that's where coach Kevin Stefanski enters the picture. For weeks, he's been dodging every question about Sanders, like they were subpoenas, just another player, plenty of competition. The usual poker-faced coach speak. But something snapped this week. For the first time, Stefanski's mask slipped, and his words, his tone, even his body language told the story. Fans have been screaming. All camp Shedeur Sanders isn't just keeping up, he's taking over. This isn't just another training camp headline. This is the kind of moment franchises remember, for better or worse. Cleveland's seen its share of quarterback hype cycles, but none like this, a rookie who's not asking for the spotlight, just quietly stealing it. And if Stefanski's reaction is any clue, the Browns are starting to realize what everyone else already knows. This kid isn't waiting for permission.
The rookie, Shedeur Sanders, isn't afraid to work. They report that while camp opens today, Shedeur Sanders is already putting in work, as he was on this high school field earlier this week. Notice he's the only one in helmet and pads, Shedeur getting reps ahead of training camp opening. Yeah, and remember, it will absolutely be a battle for the starting job in an absolutely ridiculously crowded Browns QB room. As of today, the Browns quarterback room remains Deshaun Watson, Kenny Pickett, Joe Flacco, Dylan Gabriel, and of course, Shedeur Sanders.
From the first snap, it felt different. Shedeur Sanders didn't step onto the Browns' practice field like a rookie testing the waters. He stepped on like the field was already his, like every blade of grass already knew his name. And the reaction? Instant. Coaches froze mid-drill. Veterans stopped talking. Even the water boys stood there, bottles in hand, just watching. It wasn't just that he was making throws, it was how he was making them. Quick reads, flawless timing. A pocket presence you usually see in guys who've been in the league for years. One moment, he's threading a ball through double coverage like the defense doesn't exist. The next, he's barking out audibles like he's been running this offense since Pop Warner. You can't coach that. You can't fake that. You either have it, or you're standing there realizing you don't. Fact check it. First 3 practices. Sanders led every 2-minute drill to a score. Not one stalled drive, not one wasted rep. Every snap felt like a statement, and the locker room felt it. Vets who'd seen a dozen next big things come and go were dapping him up after drills. Linemen unprompted, giving him that extra half-second of protection, the kind you only get when the guys in the trenches believe in you. The media came expecting to film another rookie fumbling with the playbook. Instead, they caught something they couldn't script. A 21-year-old playing chess, while everyone else was still figuring out checkers. Whatever the scouting reports said about him being a development project, those pages are in the trash. Now, Shedeur Sanders isn't waiting his turn. He's rewriting the depth chart in real time.
But he is a great, great kid. You guys will get to know him more. He's working like crazy, just like all the guys. You know, my office is downstairs. As they got to walk by my office as they come in. They come in early. And Shedeur, just like all those guys, he's in there early. He's getting his work done. So he's working really, really hard. I like everything there is about Shedeur.
But for every rep Shedeur Sanders nails, there's a chorus of doubters clinging to their favorite excuse. He's just a fifth-round project. The Browns front office loves that label. It buys them time. It lets them keep pushing the tired. He needs to develop narrative while they shuffle veterans in, and out of a cursed quarterback carousel that's been spinning for decades. Cleveland has watched more quarterbacks implode than a bad reality dating show, hyped prospects, washed-up vets, quick fixes that never fixed anything. And now, fans aren't just restless, they're furious, because while the brass keeps whispering, "Not yet," Sanders is out there turning every snap into a highlight reel. Tight window lasers, pocket presence under pressure, audibles like a seasoned vet. Every throw feels like another nail in the coffin of the Browns' favorite crutch: sit him and wait. Meanwhile, the analysts aren't helping. Talking heads who spent draft night calling him a media distraction and a project pick are still hedging their bets. On Monday, they're bashing him. By Wednesday, they're saying he might belong. By Friday, they're hedging again, waiting for one bad throw so they can scream "told you so" from their studio chairs. And through it all, Sanders just keeps stacking reps and stacking trust. Veterans dapping him up, linemen giving that extra push, receivers running crisper routes because they know the ball will be where it needs to be. Cleveland's QB curse has broken men, careers, and fan bases. But here's the twist. It doesn't feel like Shedeur is carrying the weight of that history. He's dismantling it, one snap at a time, and the longer the Browns hide behind that fifth-round tag, the more obvious it gets. This isn't just about patience. It's about fear. Fear of admitting that the so-called project is already the most dangerous quarterback in their building.
Shedeur Sanders is at training camp for the Cleveland Browns. And I'm telling you right now, Shedeur Sanders will be QB1. Well, there's a report out there of a CBS analyst, and he has some things to say on how this quarterback room gonna shape out. When I look at the quarterback room with Joe Flacco, with Kenny Pickett, and along with Dylan Gabriel, along with also Shedeur Sanders, the head coach, Kevin Stefanski, is looking at two quarterbacks, a starter and a bag-up quarterback.
He's thinking of this more long term. He's thinking of it being more comfortable in his skin, coming out being like, hey, look, I'm going to work on my game. I could be doing a lot of other things right now. I could be running around drag racing or doing whatever I need to do, or being in, buying clothes or something. But a couple of days before we're ready to lock and load, I think it's dope that he out there in the middle of the night in the rain, throwing the football, working on his game with the Browns helmet on, letting people know I'm out here representing for the whole city. I'm representing. I like the fact that he's energetically proud to have the Browns helmet on.
Forget the scouting reports. Forget the draft day debates, because the cameras don't lie, and what they've captured at Browns camp is enough to make every critic swallow their notes. It's not chaos. It's controlled chaos. Sanders isn't scrambling like a rookie with happy feet. He's orchestrating like a conductor. Every snap looks deliberate, a quick read, a calculated move, and then a dart that slices through defenders before they even know where to look. His auto smooth, no panic, no hesitation. It's like he's reading the defense's mind, shifting the play with a calm confidence that's got even the veterans listening closer. Receivers aren't just catching passes, they're catching rhythm. Routes look sharper, cuts more precise, because they know the ball will be there. You can feel the trust growing in every drill. And the chemistry, that's the part the cameras can't fake. Veterans, guys who don't hand out respect easily, are dapping him up after reps, nodding like they've seen this movie before, and it ends with a rookie turning into a leader. Coaches, the ones who've been giving the open competition line for weeks, are suddenly spending more time in his huddle, watching every throw, every read. Even in scrimmages, it shows. 2-minute drills that used to sputter under pressure are suddenly flowing. Defensive units that had the upper hand in early practices are now scrambling to keep up. The body language across the field says it all. This isn't just a rookie making plays. This is a quarterback bending the camp's entire energy around him. The Browns tried to downplay it. The media tried to slow roll it. But when the tape shows a 21-year-old running the offense like he's been here for years, there's no spin left. The footage is the proof Shedeur Sanders isn't learning. He's leading.
According to Mary Kay Cabot, she does think when camp starts today that he has a legitimate shot to be the starting quarterback. So in my life, kind of being around the NFL, 30 years of doing this talk show stuff, covering the NFL, having sources and reporting on it, I don't think there's ever been a player where there's a wider variance of opinion between the media and NFL executives. The media, myself included, saw him as a B prospect, a good solid in a very, very weak quarterback draft class, certainly arguable first-round prospect, maybe a second, third-round talent, but solid, good family DNA, moved well, historically accurate, good kid, not a bad kid.
Kevin Stefanski has been playing poker for weeks. Every press conference, the same script. Open competition. We like our guys. Everyone's earning their reps. But this week, something finally cracked. And he didn't have to say a word for everyone to notice. It started subtle. Rep charts shuffled. Suddenly, Sanders wasn't running with the third group. He was standing behind the first-team center, calling plays, taking snaps that were supposed to be reserved for Deshaun Watson's backups. Coaches leaned in closer, taking notes. Vets glanced around because they knew what it meant. Then came the tone shift. Stefanski's tight, robotic answers turned softer, more deliberate. A slight smile when Sanders was mentioned. Praise slipped through. He's working hard. He's special. He's getting his work done early. The same coach who spent weeks pretending Shedeur was just another camp arm suddenly sounded like a man who knew his hand had been called. And if that wasn't enough, the media praise followed fast. Reporters who'd been parroting he's a project now, whispering he's pushing for QB1. It wasn't coincidence. It was the signal. Stefanski didn't outright say it. He didn't need to. Every practice rep, every tone change, every conveniently leaked soundbite told the story. Shedeur Sanders isn't here to sit. He's not here to hold a clipboard and learn the system. He's here to start. Call it a vibe, call it a shift, call it whatever you want, but Cleveland just watched its head coach blink first. And now, the countdown to QB1 feels like it's already started.
If I am the head coach, the GM, and the owner of this team, I'm naming Shedeur Sanders my starter today. Today. You know why? Joe Flacco, love you to death. You gave us a good little run. You're a Raven. Kick rocks. Kenny Pickett, you ain't showing us that you that good at all. You here for an insurance policy. Kick rocks.
Cleveland's quarterback history isn't just bad, it's a graveyard. The Browns have started more quarterbacks in the last 2 decades than some franchises have had playoff appearances. Each one came with headlines, hype, and heartbreak. First-round saviors who flamed out, veterans on their last legs, stopgaps sold as solutions. For fans, it's not just frustration, it's fatigue. And that's why Shedeur Sanders feels different. He isn't asking for attention. He isn't wrapped in some marketing campaign or preseason hype machine. He's earning it with energy, leadership, and production that Cleveland hasn't seen from a rookie in years. Every snap feels like a jolt of life to a fan base used to holding its breath every Sunday. But this isn't just about Cleveland anymore. The AFC is watching. Rival scouts are watching. Every defensive coordinator in the division is quietly circling Week 1, wondering if they're going to be facing a rookie or something far more dangerous, a 21-year-old already playing with veteran poised for the Browns. This is more than a camp battle. It's a chance to rewrite their reputation. To stop being the franchise that breaks quarterbacks and start being the one that finally develops one, Shedeur Sanders isn't just a player trying to earn a job. He's a symbol for a city desperate for change, for a locker room craving leadership, and for a division that may be staring down its next problem. If the Browns don't recognize it soon, the rest of the league will.
Stories started coming out that he sandbagged certain interviews or was brash. The intel I was getting on Sanders was shocking. He had no self-awareness. So why did he drop? Am I surprised? Shocked, actually. I would have taken him if I was the Steelers. This executive said to me, if he doesn't go in the first 6 to 8 picks at the top of the second round, then people view him as a backup, and I'll quote it here, I'm not sure how many teams want that circus in the building as a backup. Nobody wants a celebrity backup quarterback.
The clock is ticking in Cleveland. Every practice, Sanders dominates. The Browns inch closer to a decision they can't afford to fumble. Delay too long, and it's not just games they'll lose. It's the trust of a fan base that's been burned too many times before. Shedeur isn't just another rookie. He's the spark this franchise has been desperate for, a quarterback who could finally snap the curse and drag the Browns out of mediocrity, but only if they let him. Bench. Him and the storm he's bringing might leave Cleveland behind.
If I'm the Cleveland Browns, if you're looking at the coverage of Shedeur Sanders and the way all of this is kind of being properly placed on the table, you about to get served if you don't see this coming. Just name him the starter today. Name him the starter and let him do what he's going to do. For good, for bad.
Is Shedeur Sanders the savior Cleveland's been waiting for? Or just another name in their cursed quarterback history? Should he start week 1 or keep waiting behind the veterans? Drop your thoughts below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more Browns updates and drama.